Hello and welcome. It is draft day, Thursday, April 24th, 2025. It is NFL draft. The morning of the NFL draft, or I guess just hit the afternoon, waiting for the NFL draft. So we're going to have our draft show. Do it slightly different this year, if you've been listening to previous years. Last couple of years, we just kind of made a list, a master list.
Yeah, usually a lot of the time we had a third person here for them too.
Yeah, we all converged our list, talked about it, and felt who we probably all would think would likely go at each position. But this year, we're not going to talk about it at all beforehand. Dom's going to make a pick, and then I'm going to make a pick, and then Dom's going to make a pick, and then we got to figure it out.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
and that will be the master list.
Yeah.
The alternating picks between me and him.
I mean, we'll see how it ends up. Maybe it'll be such a mess and we'll disagree so hard that we'll be like, there's no master list this year.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. It could be a mess. I think possibly it being a mess could make it way better, but yeah, we'll see. And we'll know. You'll know how well it went by if this time next year you're hearing it again.
Even if we tried to get together and make a master list, I think this is the year that everyone's drafts are going to be way off. The talent is just not that great. Like,
I actually don't think so.
I think the very top, I think we kind of know. But other than that, once you get past pick like 5.
I mean, the Jaguars are one of those picks. So I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, and the Jags, I've seen about, like, for the longest time, I thought there was no way Ashton Gentry was going anywhere near the top 10, and now everywhere I look, the Jags are taking him. So, like,
oh really?
Yeah,
I don't have him taking. I'm going to say that one right now.
Okay,
I have him going to the Jags. But you have that pick.
I do have that pick.
All right. All right. That's kind of that's the intro.
We'll do an opening here and then pretty much just the draft. So we'll start with where we left off last week, which is Nico Imalave. Imalave. Whatever. I said it better last week because I was practicing.
I feel like you said it different every single time.
Yeah, go look at his name and try and tell me how to.
I've seen it in writing.
I might be Ima because I think I was like, wait a minute, it's kind of like Ime Udoka.
Oh, maybe.
Udoka.
Like the old Celtics coach.
Yeah, the old Celtics coach who's now with the Rockets.
Yeah, anyway.
Who answered back Golden State last night, so that series is tied at 1. But to the Nico situation, it has played out sort of the way that I kind of said it would. Because once Oregon says no, and Texas says no, and hell, Tulane and Memphis say no, then you know you're probably not going somewhere that good, and you're probably going to end up taking a pay cut, and that's exactly what happened. He ends up at UCLA. This is one of the biggest sports failures I've seen in the last couple of years. You went from Tennessee, this is truly embarrassing. You went from Tennessee, top 15 ranking, $2 million a year, just made the playoff. No one would be shocked if they made the playoff again next year. To UCLA, who at this point now is basically a dead program. Chip Kelly left to be an offensive coordinator for Ohio State because he wanted out, because UCLA has become such a joke. Their athletic department has lost, I believe, over $2 million over the last 2 years. Football ticket sales in the tank. The basketball team, which they're known for, not nearly as good as it's been in years past. Decent this year, but not as good, especially competing in the Big Ten, which is pretty good at basketball too. So, I mean, this is one of the most embarrassing situations. And again, I'm not someone who thinks this is some great pushback. I think if Nico had just played better, he could have held out and gotten what he wanted or gotten a better deal somewhere else if Tennessee wasn't willing to play ball. So again, I don't think this is some crashing moment where everyone starts pushing back against the kids in college. I just think the kid overplayed his hand. But it is a cautionary tale now going forward to anyone who tries this in college football again, that you better make damn sure that you are one of the best players in the entire country before you try this crap. Or else you'll go from Tennessee, top 15 in recruiting, playoffs, $2 million, to a dead program, UCLA, who you could make the argument is the worst Power 5 football program in the country right now. I think that is a legitimate argument that you could make. This is an embarrassing, horrible story. Nico's poor father might have just wrecked his son's career because I feel like it's going to get harder to get drafted now. You went from playing national games against the best players in the country to now just being out of the spotlight at UCLA. And even if he lights it up at UCLA, do you know what the lasting memory is going to be? One, the holdout. And two, well, when he played in the SEC as a sophomore, he wasn't that good. So, and you're like, well, Bo Nix left the SEC because he didn't play that good. Yes, Bo Nix went to Oregon, though, who gets to the playoff and plays big boy football. He's going to play at UCLA. And the last two quarterbacks taken out of UCLA, Josh Rosen and Brett Hundley, both terrible failures in the NFL. He has nothing going for him now. So one of the biggest failures by a player, an agent, and a family I've seen in a very long time, maybe since the Le'Veon Bell situation. That's the last one I think I can think of that was this horrendous. So congrats to Nico and his father and his agent. This is truly, truly one of the more embarrassing things I've seen in the last couple of years.
I mean, I don't really have.
I mean, I didn't know if you have anything, but talk about the draft part at least. Because y'all weren't happy with $2 million. You wanted $4 million. And now you might have just cost him way more money because I don't know where he's going to get drafted eventually.
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, I've never heard this person's name in my life before this debacle.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, he was a little ways away from the draft, so obviously I don't think you would have heard of it much yet, but you would have heard of it once it became draft time.
Maybe.
Especially with another year at Tennessee.
Maybe. If he competed.
Yeah.
If he was trash, probably not. But but yeah, I'm sure this will definitely hurt his draft stock. He is not even he's not even really thinking about getting drafted yet. I mean, I'm sure that's probably in the back of his head. Like, the whole part of the journey is getting to the NFL. But like when you're years away from it, it's not really what you're comparing for today. But yeah, you set going to ruin your whole career. Mm-hmm. And like, okay, it sucks to suck, kid. Like, be smarter than that.
I know.
And it's like, oh, you can blame it on his dad or his agents or something, but like, I don't know.
No, you're an adult.
Yeah.
And I know. It's tough to tell your pops to F off at 20 years old, but.
And like, I don't know, me as a kid watching some of these NFL holdouts, mm-hmm. like Maurice Jones-Drew, mm-hmm. as a kid, like 10 years old, I was like, ooh, is this really going to work out for you? And then it never did.
No.
Never did.
No.
Not a single time. And then he's going to do it in college. I'm sorry. Me at 18 would have been like, Dad, no. What the hell are you saying?
Especially when you're at one of the better programs already that you could be at.
Maybe if the agent was like, listen, kid, like we're going to get you so much. We're going to raise your draft stock. And I'd be like, okay, maybe.
But what if you were, I could also say it. So you say raise your draft stock, right? Maybe that would have worked if he was playing somewhere mid-tier and then was trying to get to a place like Tennessee. But you don't go to a program who can pay you like Tennessee, playing as big games as Tennessee, have as much talent around you as Tennessee, and then try to move. That's not how this works. Usually you're trying to go up, not laterally or down.
Hey, man.
It's just dumb.
I think it's dumb.
No, but and to your point with NFL holdouts, a lot of them don't work out, and the ones that do are guys that we all know, if we made a top 10 list of the best players, are on it. Like Trent Williams holdout works out. Well, he's the best left tackle in all of football, and he's been that for a while. Who else?
Well, back in the day, used to always be
Myles Garrett was threatening to hold out. He's one of the three best pass rushers in all of football.
But it used to always be star running backs.
Yes, it did.
Who couldn't really afford to miss the time like that. I mean, Trent Williams missing a camp, that's not great to be in like being a lineman and stuff like that. Like that no matter what, as a professional athlete, missing camp is not good. It'll set you back.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. But like as a running back, they would always come in like fat, out of shape. Like, oh, you got your money though, but they would never put up the numbers that they did in years past because like so much of, especially the skill players, getting into game day shape is what camp is for. And I'm not saying it's not that for the linemen too, but like it's a different type of shape. Yes. It's a different shape, you might say. But anyway.
And also your leverage as a running back is just not as high because if you've played well enough that you think you're one of the best players in the league, but it's the only position that the more you play, sometimes the more your stock goes down.
Yeah.
because we all just know the shelf life's not that long.
And this was a time when running backs were
more highly valued too.
Yeah.
But everyone still knew like the shelf life here. That's what people said when Le'Veon Bell held out. He was coming off an amazing season.
Yeah,
but they were all like, well, yeah, but you've had like 3 amazing seasons in a row. Like, how much longer is this going to last?
Yeah.
And it didn't. But yeah, no, again, it doesn't work out in the NFL even most of the time. And when it does, you're Trent Williams. Nick Bosa, I think, held out a couple of years ago. Well, he's one of the better pass rushers in all the game, especially when he held out a couple of years ago. He's not quite as good now because he's been injured. But
the people holding out is changing. It used to be running backs. Now it's the guys in the trenches. And as it's becoming clear to just everyday fans, the emphasis needs to be on, well, we got to protect the quarterback.
And we have to get guys to rush the other team's quarterback.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, now these guys have more leverage than they probably ever had in the history of the NFL. Mm-hmm. So they can be the holdout guys now.
Yeah. So congrats.
And actually being in a position where you're fighting every single play, maybe it's sometimes half decent to miss a little bit of camp.
Yeah.
Because you're not hurting
just
yourself.
A little less wear and tear on the body.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be a terrible thing for sure. But yeah.
Maybe you won't be in game shape quite as well week 1, but you're more likely to play week 16, 17, 18. You could make the argument.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So congrats to Nico. We're not doing a Darwin this week, but honestly, if we did, it would probably just...
last week, didn't it?
I'd probably just have to double up and just...
Could be Shannon Sharp.
It could be Shannon Sharp.
But we need more details.
But I need more details.
We need more details.
That might be a month or 2 away. The only reason why it could be Shannon, though, is because I saw the video of some girl going on his podcast and already like warning him, like, stop. Should probably stop dating all these 25-year-olds.
Oh.
Because, I mean, they're only dating you for one reason, which also means that if you break up, like, well, they were only dating you for one reason, so they might go after you for the same reason they were dating you. Again, not saying that's what's going on here. It would not shock me at all if Shannon Sharp was that horrible of a person. It wouldn't. It's the way he talks.
Yeah.
Also, how much his career has blown up now in the last, like, 2 years. I could see that quickly, like, going to his head.
Yeah, he's more famous than he ever's been.
Exactly. I never like, well, he was used to it before. I'm like, the NFL was not the same when Shannon was in it. I'm not saying Shannon didn't make a good living in the NFL. I bet you Shannon makes more money now than he did playing.
Probably. Yeah. I bet that.
I actually, now that I think about it, I bet significantly more.
Tom Brady's probably making more money.
That too.
So like these media guys.
I mean, Tom was intentionally taking pay cuts though.
Yes.
I mean, Tom was ranked like 15th in the league at his position. And
high-end media guys are getting
bigger
contracts than even some NFL stars.
Oh yeah.
Plus whatever sponsorships they have.
Yeah.
From like Nike or anything.
Yeah.
Gatorade.
Plus whatever they're doing on the side too, and like because obviously he owns that podcast. And
yeah.
So
probably some. Like Tom Brady and the crypto stuff, they're probably having money and all these other things.
We gotta listen. At the end of the day, it wouldn't shock me if someone's just going after him for his money. It also wouldn't shock me if Shannon's that much of a POS.
Yeah. Or maybe
PSO. I don't know. Whatever.
No, yeah, POS. PSO.
No problem is I said POS and all I could think about was
POS system.
Yeah, POS systems. And I was like, is that right? Is it the same thing? I was like, I don't know.
Well, every time someone
is.
says POS system, I'm like, why is it such a shitty system?
Because POS.
And no one gets the joke.
But yeah, but basically we're gonna have to let this one play out here a little longer.
Sure.
We might be a month away, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Can we start the draft?
Yes, we can.
I'm like,
it is time
kind of excited
for the NFL draft. We will alternate. I get pick number 1, he'll get pick number 2, and so on and so forth. It will turn into chaos at some point, I am sure, where somebody takes somebody else's pick.
These will get slower.
And it's going to take them a minute to figure out where they want to pivot to. But let's
Should we be on the clock? Like, if you ruin my pick, like I only have a certain amount of time.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah. Get your thing out.
No. I know I need
What do you need, a minute? What do you think?
I guess.
1 minute.
I guess.
Okay.
I mean, we don't need it yet.
What's the sound?
I'm not doing that.
I know.
I'm not doing that.
I was just doing that for the first one, just jokingly into the mic.
The pick is in.
Yeah. So, with the first overall pick the Tennessee Titans will select Cam Ward.
Oh my God!
I know.
Sorry,
It's shocking. I know. No,
you ruined everything.
There's no doubt that this will be the first overall pick. The Titans need a quarterback desperately. They're actually pretty good at other places. Cam Ward has all the intangibles, not intangibles, has the physical traits that you would look for in a high pick. Big arm, great athleticism. I'm not a huge fan of him because I think he plays with a sort of looseness and casualness in a backyard field that I don't love in the NFL. But if I was in the Titan spot, I'd probably draft him here too because you need a quarterback. And he is unquestionably the most talented one in this draft. Does not mean he'll be the best. Maybe Shedeur ends up better, but he is the most talented with the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft. Cam Ward to the Tennessee Titans. Jesse Caulfield, you are on the clock with the Cleveland Browns.
Thank you. And they're taking Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Adam Schefter said so. That's why, and I believe him. I mean, also, this is one of the places where Travis Hunter said, I can't play both sides of the ball. I'm not playing. I will retire from football. Now, I don't believe him.
No.
I think he's just putting that out there to try and make sure he goes to a team where that is more likely than not. And I actually think the Browns are one of the teams where he has the chance to actually play both sides of the ball. Mostly, probably. They actually could use help on both sides of the ball in areas where could be helpful.
Yeah.
I think this is where he's going to go. And it makes me sad because I want him to be available for the Patriots. And the Patriots will not pick him.
Just so you can see all the pissed off Pats fans.
Yes. But Travis Hunter to the Browns for the second pick.
All right.
Third pick.
With the third pick, the New York Giants will not be selecting Shedeur Sanders.
Oh.
They will go Abdul Carter out of Penn State, the edge rusher, to go with Thibodeau to make a fearsome defensive front where they have to play in a division with some very good offenses and very good quarterback play. Abdul Carter to the Giants.
Because they're going to get Jackson Dart or Brian Dable.
Later on, yes.
Yeah. With the fourth pick, I can guarantee you, Patriots fans, it's going to be Will Campbell from LSU. And some of them will be upset about that. He's not worth the fourth pick, blah, 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 blah. But the only other person I would really like them maybe to select with this pick would be Abdul Carter. I don't think he'll be available. I don't think anyone thinks he'll be available. I don't think Abdul Carter himself thinks he'll be available by the fourth pick. He said he's going to New York. So it'll be Will Campbell. You need the offensive line help. He's an offensive lineman. He's allegedly the best one. So
I mean, people like, the arms are kind of small, which is a problem at left tackle. Listen, he played in the best conference against the best competition, and he was very damn good. If it turns out he couldn't be a tackle and you have to move him in the guard, that does suck because, you don't want to. But, listen, if he becomes an all-pro every year guard, are you crying about it? It's not the worst thing in the world. You don't want to take a guard with the fourth pick, but it's better than it being a bust or better than taking some wide receiver and he's not good anymore or whatever else was available here. There are 4 players in this draft that are just significantly better than everybody else, and those are the ones that you have to take in the first 4 picks, and these are the 4. So hope he's a left tackle. I'll bank on he's a left tackle, but even if he's not, I guarantee they move him to guard, and he's a fantastic guard.
I saw some people saying they want Genty. Is that what he's saying? Ashton?
Yes. No.
And I'm like, no.
But speaking of him, with the 5th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars will be taking Ashton Genty. I don't think it's smart, but this is what the Jags do. And I'm seeing it in mock drafts everywhere. So if some people are thinking this is where he goes, I get this is where he goes, and this seems like a Jacksonville Jaguar thing to do. So Ashton Genty with the 5th overall pick. I have nothing against Ashton. He was awesome at Boise State. I think he'll be a good pro. It's just there's a lot of good running backs in this draft, and you don't want to use a 5th overall pick on it. But be that as it may, some of the ones who've been taken high here recently have paid dividends. Jahmyr Gibbs. So I think the Jags are going to do it.
Well, that sucks. I had him going 6th to the Raiders.
Uh-oh, you got to put that minute up.
Maybe I'll just switch their picks. I'll take a little bit of time.
Who did you have the Jags taking?
Mason Graham.
Okay.
From Michigan.
Okay.
And I might just switch their picks. I mean, Can I get away with that?
Probably.
Yeah, I'll probably just do that.
Okay.
6 is going to be then Mason Graham from Michigan.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I saw the Raiders could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. He'll help the Raiders defense. They need help everywhere. Although them getting a damn good running back, I think, would have been best for them and not best for the Jags. I think the Jags should have gone defense. With that up the middle pass rush.
Yeah. I got to change something here. Because now a better tackle is still on the board because I had the Raiders taking Ahmad Membo. I don't know how to say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. All right. So you did the Raiders pick and you have it as
Mason Graham.
Mason Graham. Okay.
That was very easy. Just a switch pick. Although I think this one we're going to be different on Jets.
Yeah, I think we will. I have the Jets taking Tyler Warren, the tight end.
We're not different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're the same.
Oh, crap. Okay. Listen, they passed on Brock Bowers last year. They have no real weapons on offense other than Garrett Wilson, who clearly isn't good enough to do it all on his own. But yeah, the passing on Brock Bowers last year, this guy has looked as a damn good tight end. Obviously not Brock, but someone who's one of the more sure things of people having a hard time figuring out if he could really, honestly, really bust at all in the NFL. It's just a position that if you're that much of a better athlete, like you're going to be pretty good at. So I have Tyler Warren going to the Jets after them passing on Brock Bowers last year. They get their tight end. They get another offensive weapon.
I thought I was crazy putting a tight end that high.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm like, the Jets are crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I agree with that pick because I have the same pick. So with the 8th pick, I was about to call them the Florida Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are going to take Jalen Walker.
Oh, my gosh, we're the same.
Linebacker, Georgia.
I thought about going wide receiver here.
I mean, I looked at a couple mock drafts, and I see everyone seems to be thinking, well, not everyone.
Yes.
A lot of people seem to be thinking. Defense, particularly Walker.
Okay.
So, someone who doesn't watch a lot of college football, I am trusting other experts.
All right. So this is going to be the shocker here, especially with every mock draft because this kid is falling. I wouldn't tell you to bet on this because there's a good chance that he drops out of the top 20 and the Steelers do take him because it seems like that's what everyone is saying. But also, come on, quarterback inflation, this crap that's going on with Derek Carr. I know the Saints are trying to say that they're not taking a quarterback, but why would they tell you if they were? And in the interest of just what is...
No one in front of them is going to take him.
What is good and entertaining, because if he doesn't go here, I would have him dropping out of the top 20, and we're not going past 20.
Oh, we could have done 21 at that point.
No, we can't. So it will be Shedeur Sanders to the New Orleans Saints.
That's gross.
For everything I just said.
That is gross.
Is it? Why is it gross, Jesse?
Because that one should be. They should go tackle.
Okay.
And they should not waste their time with Shedeur Sanders because there's only one team that could get away with drafting a guy like him and having it be somewhat successful, and that is the Steelers at 21. It's not going to work anywhere else on this earth with a guy like Shedeur Sanders.
I'm not saying if I was a Saints, I'd do it. I'm just saying, and in the interest of entertainment, the quarterbacks are what is entertaining, and we got to draft them somewhere. And I'm not willing to just go to pick 21 just so we can be like, and Shedeur goes here. No. I'm taking him here.
Then
I'm screwing up your draft because you already screwed up mine.
It doesn't screw up mine that much.
It does. It throws you into complete chaos.
It doesn't.
You're floundering right now.
It especially doesn't because we're only stopping at 20, and I will not have to make a 21st pick.
So Shedeur,
that would be your pick anyway, 21st.
Yes, it would. So Shedeur Sanders to the Saints. Do I truly believe it? Not really, about 50%, but...
Here's the thing. I mean, listen. Maybe the Saints will do this, but the Steelers have every intention of drafting Shedeur Sanders. And that is part of the reason why Aaron Rodgers will not sign that contract. He's like, you need to pick me.
I disagree. I think they're going to draft him now because Aaron hasn't signed the contract.
No.
All right.
They had to have sat in there like, listen, you're not a long-term solution here.
I guess. All right.
And they
Well,
didn't. They played it better than the Falcons. The problem is
the Falcons.
Aaron Rodgers is worse than Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
In terms of who he is as a person.
Personality.
Yes.
Yeah. Disagreeableness. All right. You're on the clock with the number 10 pick to the Chicago Bears.
Well, it's going to be somewhat, or actually very easy, because I'll just move this guy one pick back because it's the same position. They're taking Armand Membo.
Yep. Same thing.
Mizzou, instead of the guy, because I was going to have him go to the Saints. And then it would have been the next best guy in that position. But instead it'll be Armand because they have to do line. Yeah. I know they made some moves to like, oh, they shored up their line already. It's like, not quite. Not quite. You always want the young kid in case the guys that have been around are old.
Yeah.
They become old. So they're going line.
Yeah. Well, and the bigger story is, did you see that two-seam fastball?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did. Yeah. I eventually saw that you tagged me in it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I eventually checked my
that Ben Johnson threw out for the first pitch.
Yes.
That was elite. That was pretty damn good. I was like, okay, Ben.
Did he say if he intended to do that or not?
I don't want to hear if he did or not.
Okay.
All I know is that man has talent.
Just happened to grip it like that.
Yeah. Talent. All right. With the 11th pick, the 49ers will be selecting Walter Nolan.
Oh, I have the same.
I had Mason Graham here, but you already have taken him.
See, you're coming around.
So I have Walter Nolan going to the Niners. The correct pick. I threw you for a loop twice. The Jags and the Saints one. You're right.
But both were easy fixes.
Yes. I mean, listen, the Niners, they've lost so many pieces off the defense. They have expensive pieces on offense. So you got to go cheaper on the defense. You got to hope you hit some home runs, which they have had before. That's how they built the defense that they had the last couple of years. But yeah, Walter Nolan here at this pick for the Niners. You are on the clock for the Cowboys.
Yeah. So they are going to take, with the 12th pick, I'm going to butcher this name. Who's the first name? Tetearoa McMillan?
Oh my gosh. We are actually pretty alike on our drafts.
Actually, when I was doing this draft, I'm like, I don't actually think we're going to be all that different.
That's crazy.
A lot of people think they might go running back here, and it wouldn't shock me. It's just I don't think anyone truly believes that they'll reach for the running back in this position. Maybe they'll trade down. I saw some people think they could trade down. But assuming they stay in this draft slot, they will go skill position, and I think they will get.
I think this is the easiest one of this entire draft.
You think so?
As long as one of the two top wide receivers are available, I can't see the Cowboys doing anything else.
Not even a running back?
No, because there's a bunch of running backs they can get later on. They literally.
What about the trade down?
They literally don't have pass catchers. If Lamb twisted an ankle, they would have easily the worst wide receiver tight end group in the entire league. Would not even be close.
Who's their tight end?
Isn't it Ferguson? Who's not bad.
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
have, I'm not trying to diss the tight end. I'm just saying like they have no pass catchers. It's like Jake Ferguson might become your best pass catcher. That's pathetic. That's as bad as the Pats have been.
I think the trade down option is possible, though.
No, I think it is too. But as long as they take this pick, I can't. I
okay.
can't see them not taking a wide receiver. And they've just been on this now for like 2 years. That if Lamb gets hurt, it's just non-existent. Their offensive weapons.
How'd I do on the first name?
I don't even know how to say it.
Okay.
So
I don't even
you're
know.
fine. All right. With the next pick, the Miami Dolphins will select Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan. So I threw you for a loop again?
Kind of, but
Okay.
I was really confused on this one.
I mean, listen, they need help on defense. Most of the best edge guys are gone. They can move off Jalen Ramsey then if they pick Will Johnson, which they probably want to do. He's an older player, and they can just get rid of the last bit of money that they would have to pay him now and just cut him instead. So Will Johnson to the Miami Dolphins.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Because I had the cornerback position. I just had a lower cornerback, I guess.
Okay.
It's strange. Because I have a list here.
Did you have Jahadi Brown?
Barron?
Barron?
I had Jahdae Barron.
Yeah, Jahdae. I don't know why I said Brown.
You had the correct initials.
Yes.
But like, so I had a list here of like, the best of each position.
Yeah. So
And he
he might be considered better than Johnson only because Johnson had an injury. But
Okay.
I know that Johnson was always predicted to be better.
he was on the top of the list for cornerback ranking. But like all like the mock drafts usually kind of had him lower.
Because he had an injury.
Okay.
I think
That's why I was like confused.
I think
I'm like,
that
where do I
people
put this guy?
are not going to care. I think they'll be like, listen, if Travis Hunter wasn't here, he'd be the best corner. He's been one of the 2 best corners for 2 years now. I don't think they're going to care.
But I'm okay to just switch this.
Yeah.
Because I have the cornerback position for that pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, they just also said they're getting rid of Jalen Ramsey.
Yes. So, you are on the clock now for the Indianapolis Colts, which I would be shocked if we're the same on this one.
You would be.
I would.
Okay. Trying to spell. Not going. I'll wait till your next pick. Colts. This one was one of the tougher ones.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But I ultimately landed, and part of it was stupid because I hope the Colts don't think this way. But his name is similar to the name Colts. So Colston Loveland.
No way.
Tight end, Michigan.
No.
Do you have that?
This is insane.
You know what this means? This is exactly how the draft is going to go.
No, it doesn't mean that at all. I'm actually kind of disappointed right now. I'm upset.
I'm upset.
With the next pick, the Atlanta Falcons
Maybe we should go to 30.
are taking Mikel Williams.
Hold on. Wait. Falcons?
Yes.
No, I don't have that.
What did you have him doing?
Mike Green.
It's not that much different. I just have Mike Green going later. So, Mikel Williams to the Falcons. You are on the clock now with the Arizona Cardinals.
I don't even know where I have Mikel Williams.
Maybe you don't have him in the top 20. That's fine.
Wait. Now I want to find him. Do I have him here at all? There's no way. There's no way we're that different. There's no way we're suddenly that different.
We were. That's okay.
I guess.
Sometimes you just miss names. I missed Nathan Graham's name.
What's his position?
He's an edge. He's an edge rusher.
Okay.
I have 2 more edge rushers still going too. So.
Yeah. I mean, because we're on Cardinals right now, right?
Yes.
That's the thing. I have an edge going to the Cardinals.
So we're different here. I had them taking the other corner.
So, then I'll just move Mike Green down one.
So now you're going to have the Cards taking Mike Green.
Edge from Marshall.
Okay. So see, that's going to throw me for a loop now with the one team that I had a problem trying to find what they would do anyway. All right. So you have Mike Green going to the Cardinals.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I mean, my logic on Mikel Williams, come on, guys. Atlanta's defense has been bad forever. They keep getting made fun of because they keep not going defense. They took a quarterback last year instead of going defense, and the defense still sucks. So, not that I disagreed with the pick. Just saying. They're going defense this year. So, for the Bengals, I have Mike Green.
Oh.
I mean, same thing.
Well,
Oh, wait, no, you just took Mike Green.
Yeah, I just
Sorry.
took Mike Green.
So they'll have to go with Shamir Stewart,
Okay.
which is the last of the edge rushers.
This is how CBS ranks the edge rushers. And that's why Williams didn't make my list.
That's weird.
Because I had James Pierce, Jr. going to the Cardinals.
That's not a bad idea. I might have just missed it. I could have just missed it.
I mean, maybe other people rank them differently.
You know what? James Pierce goes to the Bengals.
Okay.
Stewart's not going to be in the top 20. We're going to go James Pierce to the Bengals. Listen, maybe the worst defense in the league for most of the year last year. I mean, I think it's kind of unquestionable where they sit with a pick that they can't do offensive line, so they're going to have to go defense, particularly defensive front, because they were unable to get real pressure other than the one guy they have, which is Hendricks. They could go corner here too as well, but I'll go with James Pierce, and they get a pass rusher.
Okay. Well, I had, for the Bengals, Derek Harmon.
Okay.
Who was not edge, but
Yeah.
up the middle.
Yeah, interior.
And they're probably, in my logic was, I'm sure they want to keep Hendrickson, whatever, and then he's the edge, and Harmon would be the.
I figure they'll just flip this guy to the other side, though.
I mean, you could do that.
Yeah.
I know some teams are doing the double one on each side type of thing.
You can do that as well, too. But, all right. So now you are on the clock with the Rams.
What?
Yeah. I just did the Bengals.
Not the Seahawks. Rams are 26.
Oh, I messed that up then.
What?
I don't know why I had the Rams.
It's the Seahawks.
Maybe I was looking at a thing and they were projecting
A trade.
A trade, and I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Seahawks, thank God I don't have this pick.
Confused me so hard there.
I mean,
Because actually, the Rams were probably, again, I did all 32 teams.
Okay.
Where the Rams were maybe the hardest one for me to pick. I literally skipped them.
well, I do think, I will say this. I'll put this out there. I do think the Rams are going to trade up because I think they need a wide receiver.
I would have had them pick wide receiver at 26
Yes.
if they stayed. But the Seahawks at 18 are taking Tyler Booker,
Okay.
interior offensive lineman from Alabama, which actually on my list is the first Alabama pick, which shocked me.
Okay.
Because normally I'd figured Alabama would go earlier than that.
Alabama wasn't as good this year.
Sure,
because
sure.
Saban left and a bunch of people transferred out.
But I still just, in my mind when making the list, I was like, oh, wow. Look how low my first Alabama is.
Yeah. So now with the Bucks, as we're at the 19th pick, finishing up here, I had them taking an edge guy, but they're all gone now because of our differences.
Well,
So I will go Kelvin Banks, the final left tackle here that I've listed out and who could possibly go in the top 20.
okay.
Because I know you had Banks going already. So did I, but then everything got shifted down because we took because I had Amon going to the Raiders. You had the Raiders pick. You had them doing something else. So that shifts everything down. The Bears take him on then.
Okay.
So Banks is still on the board.
Okay.
The Bucks will take Kelvin Banks.
Okay. I mean, I saw that the Bucks could do a whole bunch of different things here.
Yeah.
And personally, I had them taking Jahad Campbell,
Okay.
linebacker from Alabama.
I debated that as well.
I lean they're going to go defensive side of the ball, though.
I think you might be right.
That's just personally how
I just thought to myself, well, there's still a left tackle available at 19,
I mean-
and usually left tackles aren't available quite this high. So I
mean,
thought
there's always the possibility
the
if a
Bucks will do
guy that talented available that low, they might just call an audible. Like, we really need defense, but like the odds of like a guy that talented being available this low, like, I mean, what do we do?
Yeah,
Possibly.
I think so too. That's basically was my logic here too.
Okay.
It's like, well, he's still on the board.
Okay.
God, you got to just do it.
That'll maybe protect Baker a little bit, trying to kill his own
His own wide receivers.
wide receivers.
All right. With the final pick, the 20th pick, the Denver Broncos. Jesse, what do you have them doing?
Marion Hampton,
Oh, I do too.
running back.
Let's go.
We were very similar.
I know. We were far more similar than I really thought we would be.
But what really effed it up is Shedeur Sanders is going 21 to the Steelers from Colorado.
Is that so? That's what you have him?
Yep.
You don't think so? Now let's take a few minutes and talk about this stuff. You don't think there's a chance that some of this is a smokescreen? I talk about this.
lying?
Yeah, like lying. You get a lot of lying here right before the draft. It happens all the time.
What's some of these people's motivation though? Like, there's no, like, top 5 picks. There's no reason for really any of them to lie to anybody. I mean, I guess you could to like mess with people.
I don't think Shedeur is going in the top 5. That's out of the
Well, no, I
question.
mean, like, this Titans, you know, there's a lot of, they won't say it, but everyone knows. Like the Browns, no one will say it, but everyone seems to think.
But if
Patriots, everyone seems to
you're
think.
sitting behind one of the teams that could take up a quarterback, and they're telling you they're not taking a quarterback, then you might panic and think they're going to take something that you want. Like I have the Saints picking Shedeur. But also, if another team is worried that the Saints are going to take something they need, if they were offered a trade, they probably would take it, knowing we can move down and still take Shedeur.
Maybe.
Same for like if the Raiders wanted him. Do you know what I mean? Like you have the Saints taking what?
I have them taking the running back from Boise State,
Okay.
personally. But then
So that doesn't screw much up for anybody because it's a running back. But let's say they wanted to go an edge rusher. What if they wanted to go left tackle, particularly left tackle? You know, someone might be like, we really need that. Like, let's call New Orleans and move up. And then New Orleans is sitting there like, yes. So we get an extra pick. We get to move down, and we still get to take Shador, if that's what they were doing. So again, if you were going to take Shador, make it seem like you're not going to take Shador.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
Well, yeah.
Particularly them. They're in the perfect spot that they're high enough. I mean, they're not so high that you're like, that would be egregious to take Sanders, but they're still high enough that they can take the final, what you consider a good enough to player to take in the top 15. Like if they were going to take the left tackle that you needed, or the corner that you wanted, or the wide receiver that you wanted, or, you know what I mean? So that's my logic here with why I'm like, you can tell me all this stuff. I don't know if I fully believe it. Because again, coming out of New Orleans, where they sit in the draft is the premier spot where I'd like misinformation, like throw everything out here. We're not taking Sanders because we are in a perfect position right now. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the Giants, it's like, come on. You can tell us you're taking Shador, but like, are you really going to use the 3rd overall pick on that? Like, no one's going to believe you.
And also, you shouldn't do that.
No, I know, but I'm saying like the rest of the league's not believing you. But like they might believe the Saints for either one. So throw out that we're not taking Sanders. Throw it out. So then someone might panic that we're going to take the last good enough left tackle on the board.
Maybe.
Or the last good enough pass rusher.
But considering what a lot of teams think of Shador Sanders, they might just be like, yeah, do it, buddy.
No, but I'm saying why the Saints are saying they're not taking Sanders. That's my point.
But they're lying that they will.
Yes, but they want to be able to trade down. Because they could trade down and still take Sanders. But make the league think that we might take the left tackle that they want or the edge rusher that they want. And then maybe we might get a call for a trade up.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you should take the tackle.
What if we're like, ooh, the Niners definitely need something on their defensive front? Unquestionably. Mm-hmm. What if the Saints are like, ooh, no, some of our guys on defense are getting pretty old. Mason Graham, Walter Nolan.
Well, but like,
might take one of them. We're not taking Shador, guys. Trust me, we're not taking Shador.
But based on what's in front of them, I mean, listen, the Jets could, probably not. I think they'll probably go offensive line if they're going to go something else. Maybe the Panthers. I think the Niners are kind of safe in their spot to get a good defensive front guy. I think Walter Nolan would be.
All right, and what about Atlanta? Maybe. Because that's another one. Like, Atlanta has to go defense, particularly defensive front. Well, if we have the Giants going defensive front, we have Panthers going defense up front, right, and Walker. If the Saints took 1, 2, and the Niners, then you're sitting here like, what, we're going to get the 5th best guy for Atlanta? So that's another team that might just,
What do we have?
What?
Did we? Actually, that was your pick.
Yeah, I had the Falcons taking Mikael Williams.
Who was an edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if the Saints had gone something like that, then all of a sudden I'm down to Shamir Stewart, who's barely in the top 20 in some mock drafts and outside of it in a lot of them.
Actually, he was my 32nd pick.
See? That's what I mean. So do you get my point here?
I mean, you only sure. Like, I know like the misdirection stuff and all that.
But I also mean specifically why the Saints would. They're in a spot where they totally should be doing this. And again, I'm not again, if you told me to bet on it, I think it's plus 700 he'd go to the Saints right now. I haven't put money on it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just, conspiracy theory, entertainment. I could see why they could smoke screen it this hard.
I mean, okay. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. So, I don't know. You have any final thoughts here on the draft? How about for the Pats? What do you want to do? Do you want to draft a wide receiver?
No.
I don't want to.
I mean, well,
not with the first overall
yeah,
pick.
yeah.
I meant at all.
Sure, you could. I mean, at this point,
I kind of don't, unless they really want to trade Keyshawn Booty, which I don't know why, but
yeah. I mean,
to each his own.
You got Booty, Douglas. You brought in Diggs.
Yeah.
You brought in what's his face that doesn't like to wear shoes.
I forget.
You played on the Bills last year.
Okay.
That one. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could with a later pick, but like it's not like where I'm prioritizing.
I want them to take like 3 offensive linemen in this draft.
Especially since like May looked really good with these guys last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Booty will be a year older. Douglas will be a year older. They'll probably get actually some legitimate coaching this time. So like, yeah, I don't think you need to go wide receiver really at all.
If you wanted to go offensive weapon at all, I'd go running back or tight end at some point.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, probably.
So.
I wouldn't have wanted to do the Ashton whatever that high. I would not.
Oh, hell
him.
no. The only reason I'm putting the Jags as that is because I've seen it in multiple mock drafts, and I'm like, that's such a Jags thing to do. Just completely overreach on something he really didn't have to.
I mean,
and again, I'm not making it about Ashton. I think Ashton's really good. It's just
I think he'll go very high.
But it's just like the 5th overall pick, you're going to do this. But again, it's the Jags. I could totally see the Jags doing that. It's like, well, we whiffed on Travis Etienne, so we got to go get ourselves a running back.
Did they totally whiff on him though?
Yeah, he's been pretty bad.
He's been banged up.
It's part of whiffing in the NFL on draft.
I suppose. But he's still young.
Yeah.
He's still in that rookie contract.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, what's his face, buddy?
Oh, Lawrence?
Lawrence's buddy.
Yeah.
I think they'd be fools.
I do too, but it's the Jags.
But I think the Raiders would be less of a fool.
Okay. Yeah, you know, that's not a bad one, though, because the Raiders didn't have much of a running back last year, did they?
They don't have anything.
Because
on the offense side of the ball, they don't have anything.
I thought they have some wide receivers. They don't have a one at all. But I thought they have like at least like serviceable like 2-ish threes. A couple of them.
They have Jacoby Myers.
It's not bad. It's horrible that he's your one, but not awful.
Brock Bowers.
Oh yeah, they got Brock. Duh.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So
yeah, he's really good.
He is really good. I could see them doing it, but again, I just think it's overreaching.
You still think Tom wants to get a quarterback?
No.
No? What if they trade down?
I feel like I would have heard at least something about it. You know? I was just throwing it out there.
Okay.
It's like, he's got a good relationship with Dion, the star power, but everything I've heard so far, a lot of people thinking Shador's going to drop the way he is. Mm-hmm. The fact that the Raiders do need multiple other things that could be available at that pick, I'm going to go, no, they don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I feel like if it was going to happen, we would have heard something about it by now.
Okay.
If Tom and Dion had that kind of relationship, that also, like, I feel like Dion would have thrown something in there at one point, or I don't know. I just feel like something about it would have leaked. Very small, just a small little nugget, but there's just been nothing. It's been radio silence on it, so.
Okay.
It would be beyond shocking. It would be like the Falcons taking Penix last year. Like, there was nothing. There was nothing. There was no information at all that came out that, like, they might go with Michael Penix. Yeah. Not a single soul thought that. And then all of a sudden it was Falcons select Michael Penix with the, whatever, was it? What did they have? The 9th pick or something?
I think it was higher than that.
7?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Something like that. I thought actually it might have been 8.
Could have been 8.
8 is in my head.
I think it was top 10 though.
I thought so.
Because that was the thing. It was like, didn't 4 quarterbacks then go in the top 10? Or 5 quarterbacks? Was Nick's just outside the top 10? He might have been 11 or 12. He might have been just outside it.
The Broncos had.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it was, 1, 2, and 3 were a quarterback. Yeah, it had to have been. It had to be 4 in the top 10 then.
Yeah. 4, right? So the first 3 and then Penix. Yeah, I think it was 4.
Yeah.
I think Bo was just outside it. I think Brock Bowers went 10.
Maybe.
And then it was either Bo 11 or 12. One of those two. Yeah. All right. So anyway, we're getting ready to finish up here. Let's quickly go through this one more time. We got, again, alternating picks. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carr, Will Campbell going to the Pats. Then we have Ashton Genty, You had who was going to the Raiders?
Mason Graham.
Mason Graham. I have Tyler Warren going to the Jets. So did you. Jalen Walker going to the Panthers. At 9, I took Shador Sanders. With the Bears at the 10th pick, you took
Armand
Membo. 49ers, Walter Nolan. Cowboys, McMillan. I took the Dolphins having Will Johnson. Colts, Colston Loveland. Falcons, Michael Williams. Cardinals,
Mike Green.
Bengals, I did... Who was the other pass rusher? Oh, James Pierce. Seahawks.
Tyler Booker.
Bucks, I had Kelvin Banks. And we both had Omaron Hampton going to the Denver Broncos. Omaron might be the steal of the draft. I've heard he's a lot of scouts really like him.
Really?
But
well, I saw... That's not necessarily where I thought the Broncos would go. And then I saw that's what a lot of people think the pick will be. And I'm like, what's his face? What's he scheming up there? That coach whose name suddenly escapes me for some reason. Even though he's one of the most famous coaches in the NFL.
What, the Broncos one?
Yeah.
Oh, Sean Payton.
I'm like, what's he thinking? Because they, what's his face came back from injury last year and was just not good. And I know, like, he tore his knee up. That can running back. That happens. But I wasn't thinking running back for them. But
I want to gloat here for a second. Completely off the wavelength of the NFL draft. Just to finish up the show, we had no Darwin or anything. But it's been 2 weeks since we did our care, don't care. Boston is now only a game and a half back of first place.
We're still floating around 500, though.
I know, but it's the only game and a half back first place. The Angels are now under 500. Atlanta is at least 10-14. They've got back to within 7. They've won.
They've gotten back within 7.
Listen, do you believe the Mets, though? Do you buy this?
Right. They're surprising me a little bit.
Come on. I look at their offense, though, and I'm like, Starling Marte's hitting 5th. I don't know how you're scoring runs right now with Mark Vientos not hitting at all.
Lindor is a stud.
Alonso's hitting well over 300. Like, that's not going to last.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Like, I don't buy this at all. Like, maybe they're going to be better still than I thought. Maybe they are going to nab a wild card spot. But I still think they're going under their 90 and a half, and I just don't think this is that sustainable. You know what I mean?
I just want the Nationals to pick it up.
So far, the Giants have not crashed yet. They are still 16-9 and only 1 game back. Is there anyone else that we covered?
Milwaukee
is 2.5 back at 13-12.
They're still right there.
Hey, since he's come back,
they did.
Since he's now 12-13, 3.5 back. So yeah, Phillies lost 4 straight, which if I hadn't bet on them winning yesterday, I'd be happy about. But I did bet on them winning yesterday, and they lost in extra innings. But I am happy about that since I was heavily on the Phillies are going to go under their projections. So
Cleveland and Detroit are neck and neck.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I don't think we covered Cleveland at all, though, for panic or not. So
no, but
I was mostly talking about that.
I said Cleveland is winning the division.
Houston, it's now, by the way, guys, it's Texan and Houston now at the top of the AL West with Houston 1 game behind. So
Seattle's also 1 game.
Yeah, I know. But
7-3 in their last 10.
Oh, yeah, they are. But yeah, I was mostly making this. Oh, Toronto has lost 5 straight now. We knew they weren't this good. Now, I don't think we covered them in care, don't care. But
I feel like Toronto was the most, not the most obvious one, but like I
thought Toronto and the Angels were the 2 most obvious.
I guess.
Now, we didn't even bother to cover the Jays. I don't think the Jays got particularly hot until only like a day or 2 after we did care, don't care. But I thought those were some of the more obvious, like, this is a complete farce. The Mets have me worried. But I'm still not going to drink it. I'm not drinking the tea.
Still have me worried. Like, are they...
The Kool-Aid.
Like, are they old?
Who?
The Braves?
Oh, yeah. But come on. They were so... Like, you faced the Dodgers and the Padres, who just didn't lose to start the season. And you knew there was too much talent here to just... No, I know, but they got Strider back now. We knew they'd get Strider back. And listen, they still not... It's not like they're world beaters or anything. But I'm just saying, they've gotten back to respectable here. They're just a few back of Washington and Miami, and only a couple of games back of Philly, who's on a complete slide. So, damn, the Braves have really just had to contend with the hottest teams in all of baseball. Between having to start the year with the Dodgers and Padres and now having the Mets in your division too. That's just...
But didn't they play the Phillies?
It's just a tough draw.
In the first couple weeks when the Phillies were...
Did they? Oh, yeah, they did.
I thought they had a series. Actually, that might have been their first series win. That might have been actually the start of the Phillies.
I might go throw another $30 on them winning this division.
That might have been the start of the Phillies.
Come on. Now that we just said this, they have a stretch coming where they're going to face like Pittsburgh, the Marlins, maybe a Colorado for like a 2.5 week stretch.
Maybe.
It's got to be coming up now with the names that we just threw out that they started the season with. So, all right.
Wait, do we want to talk Celtics for a second?
Oh yeah, talk some Celtics real quick.
Joe Mazzulla is in his, like, he's reached his final form or something. Like you see the game one, Tatum takes a hard fall.
Yeah.
And he literally stops the trainer from going to help him and just starts yelling, "Get up!" Like that's an old school coach right there.
I saw that.
And then Tingus Pingus, he fell and he busted his head open.
Uh-huh.
And at post game, Mazzulla had a quote. He's like, "I like watching him bleed on the court. I think it's important." Like, what does that mean? I think it's important.
I think it's important.
Like,
I was working. Did they get a flagrant for that?
I don't know. I didn't watch that game.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to watch this series. They're going to sweep them.
Oh, I know. I mean, we've already talked. Is there anything in sports more useless than an NBA regular season and the first round of the playoffs? Because even the series that are close in the first round, both teams then have no chance.
That last NFL wild card spot.
True, but that's just one game. I'm talking about we're talking about an entire season that's kind of useless.
Joe Mazzulla's great.
I'm gonna laugh if Golden State beats the Rockets. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Well, the Bucks are 0-2.
I know.
To the Pacers.
Well, yeah, but the Pacers finished better than them in the regular
Did they?
season. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna laugh so hard if Golden State beats the Rockets, which I think they will, because I'm gonna be like, this is why the NBA regular season is so useless. Like, the Rockets were one of the better teams in the West, finished in second, way better record than Golden State, but the minute it turns to the playoffs, because Golden State, cruising through.
But I know
they added Jimmy Butler and it made them a different team. I understand that, but
and also no one was talking about the Rockets. I mean, I don't pay attention to much basketball, so I'm not like, oh, I was hearing so much about that, but I don't think anyone actually cared about the Rockets. I heard Thunder. I heard Golden State. I heard Lakers.
Exactly. But all you're doing is proving my point, because people already knew. They're like, this is regular season. They're not going to be doing anything in the playoffs.
So, you should expect Golden State to win then.
Exactly. But that's bringing to the pointlessness of the regular season.
So why would you laugh at them? You tried too hard.
I'm not going to laugh.
You won the useless games.
I'm not going to laugh at the Rockets. I'm laughing at the NBA.
Okay.
Because it is the most useless regular season and playoffs in all of professional sports. First round of playoffs. All right. But yes, Mazzulla is hilarious.
I like to watch him bleed on the court.
I think it's good for him.
Can't believe I said.
I think it's good for him.
I think it's important.
I didn't hear that part. The Tatum one I knew all about.
Get up.
Just stopping the trainer. Get up. That's so funny. Joe
and then he missed the game.
Mazzulla doesn't give a single you-know-what. Well, you know what? He should miss the game because it's the damn Magic. We can beat them without Tatum.
Yeah.
And we did.
But he clearly hurt himself.
I know. Do you think they'll lose one game?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
There's going to be a day they don't show up. There'll be a day the Magic just can't miss.
Well,
because this is basketball
when
and that happens.
It was 3-0 against the Mavericks. And then, when Game 4 started and the Mavericks, they were hitting some shots.
I knew early on in Game 4 we were losing.
The second the Mavericks showed they had some energy and some fight, the Celtics were like, well, we're playing tomorrow then.
Yeah.
We're going to try again tomorrow. And didn't give a single damn about that game.
Was it close or they curb stomped them?
No, they lost by 40.
That's what I thought. Didn't they just curb stomped them a day later?
Yeah, the Celtics, probably halfway through the first quarter, they're like, this is not worth the effort today.
No, I remember this.
So
because I remember I had some cigars ready. It was the one day that my brother could come over to watch it, and I was like, they're not going to win today, though. It's the one day I could celebrate without being at work for it, but they're not going to win. And they didn't win. But, all right, So that has been it for Slo Ur Roll. We were very similar on our mock drafts. So either we're going to both look like geniuses or we're both going down with the ship.
Well, if you had
tonight.
to guess, because you love Harbaugh, who are the Chargers picking?
It depends what's there.
Well,
I don't think
what position do you think they're
they're
playing?
not going wide receiver.
I don't.
Jim refuses to ever do that with a high pick. He'll go get somebody in the third round.
I have them picking.
I think they'll probably take a running back
Ooh, I do not have that.
because they need one badly. But there's a ton there, so there'll still be good ones available at 26
You know who's available at 22? They're at 22, not
or
26.
20, wherever he is.
Rams are 26.
Okay, where are they?
22.
Oh, they're definitely going running back.
You think so?
Yes.
I put Kenneth Grant from Michigan
Oh, okay. I could see it.
because, that's a Harbaugh guy.
That's true. Which that can go both ways though.
Because he knows him and he knows all his weaknesses.
He might be like, I squeezed all the talent that I could have out of him already at Michigan.
Maybe.
I saw the best version of him
Sure.
already.
Perhaps, yeah.
But-
He'll know these kids and he knows who to avoid.
But I like that you threw that out there because that's part of the reason why I think I might be betting on the Chargers to win the division next year, because Jim is going to hit home runs in the draft for the next 2 seasons because he's coached or recruited all of these kids and watched tape on them for years. This is why Pete Carroll was able to build the team he did, drafting Richard Sherman in the 6th round and stuff, because he knew Richard when nobody else did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which again could mean that he makes a shocking pick here with his 1st round pick. That we're like, what the fuck? But anyway, that has been it for Slo Ur Roll this week. Have a great rest of your week, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy the NFL draft.